Hello everybody, my name's Howl and welcome to my channel. Today we're on Life Quan Mo's account and we're going to be taking over his Hydra. Just one Hydra team, but it's one that's very important for, I'd say, majority of players to learn how to build, and that is a Trunda team. So this isn't going to be a full auto one because we're going to be using a Lamasu and Yumeko, but we will be doing one nonetheless. So we're going to go ahead and clear that out. And yeah, we're just going to clear these all. I'm sure once we decide what this main team is going to be, he's probably going to decide new teams for everything else. So we're just going to call this Nightmare, and we're going to get this building going. So we definitely want Lamasu and Yumeko, and then from there we need to decide the rest of the roster, the rest of the team. And in that we need a lot of percentage up champions. What I mean by that is champions like Gurptuk or Ashnard that boost your damage by a percentage just by existing, putting up debuffs or whatever else it may be. So we're gonna look around. I don't know. No, okay, we went it by rarity. I don't know if he has Gurptuk. I don't know if he has really any of these champions. Okay. You know, it'd probably be easier just for me to look it up. But no, there's Gurptuk. Then we would also be looking for... I mean, he has a Grakos, which might be the champion we go with. I did see a Grakos. But we also... okay. We need decreased defense, weaken. I need to double check what Grakos' kit does, because I don't know. Okay, it does decrease defense and block buffs, and we'd have 3 champion with block buffs. So if we did go with Grakos, we could just go with a... We could just go with a weaken, and do we have a... You know, Hatter could be solid, because he does bring some support. But the other thing we could... No, so we need decreased defense, weaken. How much? Okay, I need to go read his kit again because it has been a little bit since I've looked at Grakos' kit. Grakos, passive. The ally deals 10% more damage. So it's just a straight 10% more damage. And he does revive. I do believe I read that right. Yeah. No, so actually no revival. Okay, different than what I thought was going on, unless I, again, read it wrong, which it can happen. No, okay. So there is no revive, which means I don't need to go with him. That does give us some other options. I thought he was a reviver as well, which I mean would probably make him a little bit broken. But so out of all of his roster, I do know we have a Carolon, which can be really, really good. Let's see here. So we need a decreased defense weaken champion. We're just going to look at both, see what we have. Decreased defense and weaken. Okay, so we just have the very, very basics of Lydia. Now, what do we have for weakened champions? We have Hatter. We also have Carolon somewhere, right? I thought I saw Carol. Yeah, there he is, Carolon. So those are options for weekends. So do we just, I mean, we probably just go with Lydia, honestly, to avoid too much issue. But we just want pure consistency, and Lydia does bring just pure consistency. Yeah, that's fine with me. Lydia, and then we're gonna go with, I believe we're just going to be going with a Lanakus if he does have one. He does have Lanakus. Now, we can check other champions just to see. So increase attack champions, who do we have? Let's make sure we are including the vaults. Okay, yeah, so it's just going to be Lanakus, and we're going to go with a pretty classic team here. The only difference in the really super classic version is that we would be running a double Yumeko instead of a Lamasu. But yeah, so let's pick her up. I believe she had a 1-star soul somewhere in here. Lanakus, 2-star. Okay. Alright, let's get this team built, guys. First, we're going to go with Trunda. Her build is certainly not it. Let's get her unbuilt and get her going. So with Trunda, we are going to be looking for somewhat slow. We're going to be looking for high attack, high crit damage, and the proper sets. So if he doesn't have any Merciless, that will kind of change what I plan on doing, but right now the plan is Merciless. Okay, no Merciless down there. Do we have enough up top to just get a 6-piece set? If we don't, it's fine, because we are in we are running a full reset team, but we do have to check. Insane boots right there. Okay, that's a great start. Attack percent chest. None of these are like extraordinary. Okay. All right, we are going to be checking the other damage sets then. So for Savage, what do we have? We're just looking for attack percent. And we have a couple chests. Okay, we have one really good one there, and we have another really good one here, as long as, I mean, it's not amazing, but it is good. Now, this one might be better. We don't have to, actually, while we're here, let's look at Zeal boots. Let's just take this up, see what we get here. A proper ascension could make this not half bad. Okay, so we would have to re-roll for that. Now, chestplate, if this doubles or triples crit rate, we could use it. Okay, now, it isn't ideal to use an attack percent chestplate, but if it does get speed or crit damage down below, okay, got crit damage. This could be worth using. This chestplate up top is very good, but it really just depends on what we're able to get elsewhere, because the boots were looking a little rough. Yeah, those aren't exactly bad. It's just not what we'd want to go with. No, okay. Yeah, I mean these boots are fine. It's not that they're bad. And now let's look at the rest. So gauntlets, I would like to get a solid pair of gauntlets, unless we have one hiding around here. We can re-roll a few pieces. Wow, that could have been insane if it would have just went one stat different. If it would have swapped a couple stats there. We're gonna re-roll all these gauntlets basically, because the value of a Zeal gauntlet is just on another level. But chances are we won't get anything. It's just with the chance that it does happen, you might as well take it. Okay, so yeah, no crit damage, which, it is what it is. But it's clear that we do have enough pieces where we could be re-rolling for a little bit, trying to get some okay ones. So I do believe we will have Zeal. It's just what pieces do we have in Zeal that make it worth going for. Yeah, we really don't have too much. We have a decent shield right here. So let's go back up to Savage, which means we need gauntlets. We can't skip gauntlets at all. This is crit damage speed. This is attack percent speed. I do like that one more. Now, with weapon or helmet, if we have one with attack percent, crit rate, crit damage, and speed would be the perfect piece. But if we have something else laying around that's also very solid, we'll go with that. While we're building this champion, guys, if you are not already subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing. Comment down below if this video has taught you anything. I know we haven't gotten too far into it, but maybe just seeing the building process might help you. If you do not know, we are running a giveaway if we are able to hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of November. I will be giving away 3 lemon takeovers, which is roughly $600 worth of account work onto your account for free. So all we have to do to reach that is just get the channel to 6,000 not 6,000, jeez, not 6,000, 2,000 subs by the end of next month. Yeah, if you're not already in the Discord, I do have a Discord with some great people in there. Feel free to check that out. So let's continue looking for a solid piece. It seems like this one right here, the one that we already had on here, might be the best, has the most attack percentage, so we're going to pick that up. Now, this is looking like a pretty decent build. We definitely need a good amulet, which isn't hard to get by any means. Yeah, something like that. very solid. And now we are left with just the ring. Now we want attack percent heavy right there. That's perfect. Awesome. Now we are going to go to the relic. We're going to need a coronet. My goodness. There's quite a... Wait. This one's already level 4. We are just going to swap that. Remove these and see, do we have a boss slayer? If we have a boss slayer, that would be the best. Let's go to socket type, see if we have one equipped. Not seeing too many mythics in here. Oh, there's one. Nope, that is a bloodthirster, right? No. Okay, so we don't have a boss slayer, which isn't my favorite thing to be missing out on, but it could be worse. Now, what do we have here? Attacking the wearer has a 10% chance to repeat the... Oh, okay, that's for like Unrio or something. Using multi-hit skills. No, okay, we're just gonna go with the defense, ignore. And this one, probably just boosting, or we could take less damage by the boss. I could also see that not be bad. Yeah, let's go with that. Take a little less damage. This needs upgraded to max. We're going to be going Nature's Wrath. We are going to be resetting and getting the proper masteries. So we for sure need the crit rate. That isn't something we can skip out on. Go with that. We go with Heart of Glory. We go with Life Drinker just to make sure we're able to pick up that extra bit. Cycle of Violence for other content. We want to go with Bring It Down. Single Out. We also want to be going with Stoked Fury. I like picking up Methodical just so you know the A1, if you ever use it, can do a little extra. Hum Smasher. We're going to go with Pinpoint. Go with... see, Arcane Celerity can be really good, but I don't like it in the Steam because it offsets her turn meter and things. Lure of Steel, we can get a little bit of extra stuff going on, and then Master Hexer. Now we can go in and finally min-max this build and get some proper stuff on her. We want to go for just completely maxed out Trunda. That means we're going to be re-rolling some stuff, getting all the stats we need in whatever way we need to go about to achieve said stats. If that's glyphing, if that's re-rolling some ascensions, any of those things qualify. If we can get speed on this, that would be cool. Or, yeah, it is what it is. There wasn't anything besides speed that would have been all that great. Attack. Attack. Wow. Okay, last one. I can't I can't justify going further. Okay. It's crazy that it can even take 4 to get just a single one you want. Now on this, we're actually going to reroll for attack percent, and that is just to maximize damage. I can go up to maybe 5 or 6 on this. I don't want to go too hard for it. We made our way back around to speed. Okay, you know, we're going to leave it for now. It's not ideal, but I don't want to keep pushing that piece and it possibly not getting back to speed and us just wasting all of our rework resources. So yeah, that's Trunda. Very solid build, actually. Let's look at Hydra. So we have 9.5k attack, 220 speed, maybe a little fast, actually, and that's why I was going for the attack percentage, because it would boost damage and make her a little bit better in the speed department. 350 crit damage, solid resistance, and savage and zeal. Very solid build there. Wait a second. Wait a second. You know, the keen-eye viewer might have noticed a mistake I made there. We don't need all this crit rate. We actually don't need 30% of this crit rate. Wow. I can't believe I messed that up that bad. But knowing that we're able to get a build this strong, like, with proper crit rate. Okay. Give me 1 second, guys. I don't want to waste your time going through the whole building process again. I'm going to find a couple pieces to see if we can mix this around and get some better stats. Alright guys, we re-rolled a chest plate into a pretty solid one, and then we also swapped to these, to this weapon right here. So, overall, we lost some crit rate, which was the goal, we lost a little speed, which was another goal, and we gained some attack and crit damage overall, I believe. Yeah, I think we're around the same attack and a little bit higher crit damage, which is fine with me. Just like to avoid wasted stats on pieces that could be good on other people. So yeah, that is Trunda. Now we get to look at Lamasu. Actually, before I forget, let's just go ahead and make sure that this is a preset on Trunda, making sure that she gets, so just make sure that her build never gets messed up. Trunda. Save, and now we move on to the next champion, which is going to be Lamasu. Now uh, Lamasu and Yumeko both are going to be not hard to build, but they both need some specific things. On our, I want to say on our Yumeko, we're gonna go with Provoke, because you know we do have the ally attack if we ever need to. Yeah, no, we just have the ally attack, and we're going to be spamming the ally attack, which means we can get that out there, and then we're going to be going with Hex on Lamasu, because that way we can make sure that we're always getting our provoke out, or at least trying to, making sure it's one of the Void champions, which is majority of the team, and or 50% of the team. Yeah, okay, that does help me decide. Or no, no, okay. So Yumeko, we're gonna go with her. I assume this build is already saved. Yeah, okay. So for Yumeko, I believe we want her around 250 speed. That should be the highest speed in the team overall. Her and Lamasu both. I think Lamasu might need to be just like one speed faster. But we do just want her very, very tanky. We don't want anybody to be dying over anything stupid throughout the team. And also getting some counterattack things could be okay if we're ever getting hit by the head that we need to provoke, head of a decay. So let's go ahead and make sure we have the right thing here. Let's get the right, well actually, shoot, wand might not be the best option. It is good for speed, but I just want to make sure that we don't have like some other hidden gem around here. No, okay, wand is just going to be the best thing. Let's take this all the way up to 12. And now this isn't for Hydra in specific, it's just to make sure that she has the proper relic on for PvP. Alright, so then we're going to want to go into Provoke and just find a set. That's really all we have to do. No, we want something with a bit of survivability to it, so yeah, something like that. And then these other two pieces, we need to have HP percent, defense percent. I would like some resistance and a little bit of speed. We have plenty of accuracy, so I'm not worried about that. And we're not even really going to be focused on accuracy. So there's that, and then a pretty solid amount of HP on this one allows her to be pretty tanky. Now, I'm not going to go as far in depth in maxing this build. I do believe it'll be fine as is. It's just finding maybe some of those ascensions we can go with. Just make sure she's a little extra tanky. But as it is now, she will be fine. She's good speed, okay resistance, good accuracy, looking solid. Okay, Lamasu. Let's make sure her build is saved. Yes, it is saved. Cool beans. Let's go ahead and make sure. Yep, another one without the proper relic. Just get this on her. Both champions that thrive with a wand. Just get this taken up. And now we can take a look at the build itself. So for her, we're looking for just over Yumeko's speed, which I should have memorized. I don't know why I didn't memorize that. Let's, Yumeko, she is, oh boy, she is kind of quick. Should be okay. Yeah. We're looking at, what, 267 speed, so Lamasu needs to be around 270. We just want to be focused on the survivability stats down here. That's fine. We would prefer, no, we would definitely be preferring accuracy here. I don't know why we've gone with that. So yeah, let's pick this one up. And let's go with some just very heavy defensive pieces. Do we have anything already rolled? If so, I would like to go with that. Yep, that is fantastic. And then this piece can be really anything. Yeah, this is fine, you know. HP with some defense, some accuracy, and a accuracy set. We have more than enough accuracy already. She's done on that end. Now curse set is what we want her in. These are very, very fast pieces. We don't need all that. Let's just look for survivability at this point. You know, some speed there, and then HP percent or defense percent with a focus on speed, at least a double. Okay, forget that. It's just focus speed. I don't like that upgrade. I meant that update. I don't think it's all that beneficial for anybody. This one's defense percent with HP and speed and accuracy. We're gonna go ahead and take this. And then we are going to go with a speed piece here, allowing us to be faster than Yumeko. Yeah, like just by like 1 speed is all that really matters. Let's just get her around. Okay, we don't have to go the speed piece. I just want to go here, HP, defense, see what we have. This one's very heavy on the HP. If we just throw a single speed glyph into anything on her, she will be looking good. So let's save this. Hydra. Save champion preset. Where's a piece that could use a glyph? Right there. Okay. So we are at 269, which is 2 over. Very solid. We're looking good. Now let's go on over to Gurptuk. Gurptuk is the next champion up. Not a bad build on him right now, but it isn't quite what we need, because on Gurptuk we're actually going to be needing a whole lot of crit damage. We're going to be looking for about 350 crit damage, I believe, which might be pretty hard to get on him and keep him alive, so we need to make sure that he does have something on here. We're going to throw him in cruelty. We are going to redo these because he will most definitely be needing flawless execution. Let's pick that up. Let's go accuracy, accuracy, debuffs. I want to make sure his shield is bigger, rapid response, Lore of Steel, Master Hexer, Merciful Aid, and Lasting Gifts. Okay, alright. Now on his accessory, we definitely need a dagger. Okay, we don't have any. What in the world? Okay. There's one on Renegade. I'm going to take this all the way up to at least +9. If we can't... Oh, yeah, we can go up. No, we'll leave it at +9. It's not a super big deal. Right. So we're going to be looking for 9-piece protection. Okay. 9-piece protection with crit damage. And we're going to be looking for survivability. We don't really need accuracy, but it can definitely be beneficial. We don't need him all that fast. We just need him above Trunda. That is the only requirement that we have for him. So let's get this piece up to 16. We're going to be going for a crit damage ascension. Got it, first try, awesome. So there's that. We also do want to make sure that we are trying for some resistance on him as well as his accuracy, because we don't want him to be getting provoked in things. Him in specific is very, very important to make sure that the balance of our team doesn't get thrown off by a provoke or something, because his A2, make sure that we don't get screwed over by that. So we're going to be going here. We're going to be focusing crit damage, whatever we have. That one does have some speed, which actually, I think this is the best piece, because with this one having the speed it does, it allows us to go with a, survivability boot. Which means I'm actually going to chuck a 5-star glyph into this. We want to go a little bit higher. Okay, there we go. +5. Do like that. Now on here, we are going to be looking for HP percent, defense percent. There we go. The one on Santa is great. Now on here, even, I mean, that's, it could not get, it literally couldn't get better than this. I mean, oh my goodness. Speed, please. I don't want to waste too much on this guy. HP percent, okay, I'll have to take that. He's just a very squishy guy, and I don't want him dying. Alright, crit damage is definitely getting up there, which is great. I think we're good on crit damage now, so we can focus on the speed, we can focus on the accuracy and the resistance. So this one has accuracy, good, and then this one has speed, resistance, and accuracy, putting us just above Trunda overall. We do have some tank to him. It is pretty hard to get some survivability on this guy, so I'm happy with that. Overall, not a bad build. Alright, now we need to be looking at Lydia. Actually, before we do that, let's just double check. Yes, he is higher. She's 348, and he is 353. Awesome. Next up is going to be Lydia. Lydia, we are going to be going with protection. 9-piece protection on Lydia. Let's just make sure this is saved. This looks like a Chimera build. Yes, it is. Awesome. Alright. So we're going to be going 9-piece protection. We want her to be anywhere between Yumeko and Trunda. That's all that matters. Nothing else really about her build matters that much. We do want her with some resistance, some survivability. We want her to be slow. Overall, I mean, relative, I guess. Okay. Actually, do we? I didn't see resistance. We don't have resistance. Okay. So this is going to be the best piece. Wow. That's just rough. Can we get resistance at least? No. Okay. Well, it's survivability, and the speed doesn't matter all that much, so we're going to go with it. Then we're going to go with this piece. Okay. Now on the top row, we're going to be going for HP percent, defense percent, speed, resistance, all of that fun stuff. Very similar to Gurptuk, just without the crit damage. So I'm going to be looking for HP percent, defense percent, resistance. Gosh, that's so unnecessary. Okay, yep, taking that. On this one, we are taking that. And here, we don't need speed. So if we can just get some resistance. We don't have anything? Okay. You know, that's fine. Not too worried about it. Just pick this up. Some accuracy and things. Now, let's find... Yep, that's great. Now we really need to go with accuracy. Like we're actually very, very low on accuracy. There's a triple and yeah, there's another decent one. Okay, so accuracy is currently the issue, and we for sure need to try and get an ascension of accuracy. If we can't, I'll just be glyphing all the accuracy as high as I can. This is the last reroll I'm doing here. I'm not doing any more. HP percent, I'll take it. So yeah, we're gonna have to just glyph the accuracy on all of these pieces to the max that I possibly can. Let's equip this. Hadder's Resolve, completely useless on her. If we do have the one that makes it to where fear doesn't bother you, that would be good. Yep, Veil, that's great. Let's take this up. Yeah, okay, that is very solid. It doesn't give us like the accuracy that we need, but it does give us a chance to put a Veil on our Lydia, which anybody who's ever ran Lydia knows the biggest issue with her is that she always counterattacks whenever you get feared. There we go, some more accuracy. Alright, so she's good now. We got nothing else to worry about with her. Her masteries are a little iffy. Let's just make sure they get done right. For general all content, now it may not be perfect for this team in specific, but you do just want her to be built with the proper masteries because she is just such a versatile champion, and she is the only crit defense down and weekend champion on the account. So we're gonna go with Hydra. Okay, we're down to Lanakus. Lanakus is going to be just under the Yumeko. That is really the only thing we got to worry about besides, of course, accuracy and resistance. Not resist, speed, HP, resistance, defense. Those are the different stats we're shooting for. Okay, let's get these up. We're shooting to make this video under an hour, so hopefully we are on track to do that. Hopefully below 40 minutes, actually, because I feel like 40 minutes is the cutoff where people are like, that video is a bit too long. But we don't want that to happen with this one. This one should be a pretty solid watch. At least I hope so. HP percent and defense percent is all we're looking for, and then we're looking for speed. Let's select that and see what we have. So we got a double speed there, we got a triple speed there, and then we can go with a survivability boot. All we need to do is make sure we have speed on it. There we go. And if we can get a, and no, we actually don't want speed up top. Yep, that's great. So what is her resistance looking like? Her resistance is actually very low. But she shouldn't be the one with the highest buffs really ever. So yeah, we're going to make sure she gets the... Go down here, pick this up, cycle of magic, lasting gifts, and then just because it can be run saving, we're going to pick up War Master. The rest of the stuff on her doesn't matter too much. I guess we'll just go with that. Yeah, literally nothing else matters. And then on her, we're going to be going with a Journal of Necrotos. That is the entire team. Now let's make sure that the AI is set up. We do want to go with this. Now, like I said before, it is pretty much a manual team, but it is what it is. Yeah, so speeds are good on everybody. Actually, I nailed those. Awesome. Wasn't sure how close they were going to be, but yeah, that is great. Okay, all right, we're going to give this a small manual run here. We can quick battle, see what it does on quick battle. Yeah, pretty much what I expected. So this team is a very just manual heavy team. You can always swap out Lamasu for a different champion, but that can mess things over a little bit. So the beginning of it can be a little iffy because we do have to get that provoke up, but that's really the only RNG that we deal with at all throughout this fight that I can think of. So yeah, we just reset Yumeko, we reset everybody. We see if we can get this extra turn, which we don't, so we're actually going to reset. I do want to make sure that Lanakus is booked because it seems like she might not be. We do, yep, okay. So Lanakus isn't booked. Her blessing is also wrong. We got to go with on her. I'm actually going to go with intimidating. Wait, no, because we do. Okay, I know what I'm thinking. I'll show you guys what I'm thinking in just a second. So on Lamasu, yes, okay. So the commanding presence and the intimidating presence go together. I believe. I believe. I could be wrong about that, and if I am wrong about that, intimidating presence. Okay. Yep. No, I was wrong about that. That is my bad. We're going to be changing that back. I believe a long time ago that worked, but maybe I could be wrong. Not always right. Gonna go to cruelty. Yep. A little bit of gems. My bad. My bad. All right. Now she needs to be booked for this team to work. So we are going to drop a few books just to get her done. Seems like we might have to fully book her. We'll try to not have to. There we go. We saved one book. Awesome. It's fine with me. All right, let's throw her back in here. Because without her book, that is rough. That does also make me think that we do need to check Gurptuk. Gurptuk is good. That means everybody else is good, and we can give this a go. Ooh, a lot of quick talking. A lot of trying to get some stuff done. Protection there. Get this up. We are resetting Yumeko, resetting, and then we're going to just A2. See if we can. Ah, man, we are missing out on that again. Okay, I'm going to get a decent start of a run, and then we'll come back. Okay, so actually on the next run, we ended up getting it, so that's great. This out. Start building the damage right there. Reset A2. We didn't get lucky to get a hex out there, which is unfortunate, but it's alright. I'm not too worried about it. Get these up again, and then we should get to just smack the... Okay, so did a little less damage than I was hoping for. By a little, I mean a decent bit less than I was hoping for. So, and this does happen sometimes where teams do take a little bit more of a setup just because maybe the builds are a little lower end than some, or maybe you just need to fully build up your Trunda because I mean right there you just saw she did crazy amounts of damage. So I'm not going to blame it on the build at all. I'm just going to blame it on the fact that we maybe didn't have things fully ready. Okay, there we go. So we got this going, we get this up, and now we smack, I believe the weakest head here is one of these two. Smack this one, 81, 81, 302. I mean, fantastic start. That is a really good start, actually. And then you just sit here and cycle this. We really only ever worry about swapping Lamasu to something else just to get the decreased speed out. Once you've done that, you swap back over to making sure that Yumeko is reset. And then with this cycle going, you should be fine. Making sure to ally attack into the head that needs provoked every time you can, because if you don't do that, you can get screwed over pretty bad. So we're actually going to try and kill it. There we go. Reset. Reset. We are just going to go ahead and smack into... we're going to just A1 actually, because I feel like we might be a little overkill at the moment. We want them to take turns. Reset. Just let them do their thing. We're going to buff up. We are going to ally attack into this. Let's see if we can get some stuff out. Not quite. Alright, now this head needs to take a turn. We do resist. That was the goal. And now, oh, we just missed it. Just missed it. Alright, we did get feared, so kind of crappy there. But just because I'm running it wrong doesn't mean that the team is any worse than it could be. And I mean, by turn 13, I mean, we're doing... based off of this, just this so far, we're doing 30 million per turn, but that's not actually how it's breaking down to once we get fully back into the swing of things. If you run the team properly, I assume with these exact builds and everything that this team could be pulling anywhere from 6 to 14 billion. I just don't know how to run this team that well. I do know how to build it, I just don't know how to run it because I don't practice with this team. I still struggle to run mine every now and then. So with running it properly, the builds are good. I think the team is looking very solid, and I hope that Life Quanmo is happy with the turnout. If you guys did learn anything from this video, if you did enjoy this video, consider liking and subscribing. As I mentioned before, my Discord, the giveaway at 2,000 subscribers, if we're able to hit that before the end of November. Besides that, guys, I appreciate y'all for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out, everybody.